obviously that I knew already the team. We had to study it very deeply last year to face the two games of the semi-final of the Champions League. Only with that deep study we were capable to overcome the difficulties that we had. And that's part of the job of a coach, to be updated also on the best teams in Africa, in the world even, to follow the patterns of the development of the game itself. But or to enter the job, there was another moment of preparation where we studied not only what was happening, because that was the most important part, what was happening now during this season with the team, how the team was playing, and also understanding obviously the players deeply by themselves, what are their capacities. So we have to study the team and the players, and it's obvious and clear that the players we have, as they are technically well developed, they suit the game of a coach that wants to impose himself on the games. Because this is the base, to have quality players. I struggled a lot to impose myself in other contexts where the quality could not sustain what indeed I wanted to put in going on. And that's what I want. I want a team that can control the games. And control the games, it means that the team must be solid in all the 4 moments of the game. Must understand very well what to do with the ball, obviously, but as I have in mind and clear, you have to have the ball to move, not the ball but the opponent, in order to find the right spaces to attack those spaces. I know there are, obviously, when you play teams play against Sundowns, we really need to understand this question of the spaces. Where are the spaces? How we should create, how we should utilize and use the spaces that are in. So having control of the game has also to do with being very aggressive in the moment you lose the ball. Because as much as you control the game, or as much you are aggressive, there's a moment where you're going to lose the ball. And you need in that moment to be very, very strong. I think it's a moment that the team needs to grow a lot. And for that, you need to have huge solidarity among the players. Because I prefer the players to run for 3-4 seconds and make an effort to recover the ball immediately, rather than coming down, reorganize and defend to win the ball and then having to go forward again. And I think that moment can give us a lot in the future. So that's one of the things we'll have to work from the very first league. So, and we have players for that, because we have players with that mentality that need to be probably stimulated in order to put going on. They need to be closer to each other for that moment. And that comes from the offensive organization. After, obviously, when we play high level difficulty games, the other team has also quality to go in attack, so to get out of our pressure and take the ball in the spaces that we'll have obviously to be, because the pitch has huge dimensions. And in that moment we need to continue to press the ball and reorganize through that to the moment we are in defense. It has to do that we need to be strong on rest defense, and then we need to be good on reorganize ourselves. And that is also solidarity and commitment. Because there will be no player more important than the team we need, believe, no one. Because we make the task as a group, and we understand that we have quality, but we put the quality together going on, because football is a collective sport, not an individual sport. It's not A plus B plus C plus D, or number 1 plus number 2, number 3. It's how we can be together. And the difficulties will come, and we'll overcome them when we'll be together. So having a good defensive organization is part of football. There's a moment we need to have a good defensive organization. And for that we need to understand we need to be solid, we need to be organized, we need to be collective. That has nothing to do with being a defensive coach or an offensive coach. It has to do to understand that to win trophies in the tough games, that will come. It will be highlighted by the game itself. And or you are up to the challenge, or you will lose. Because good teams, they will use this moment to make it hard. And we need to prepare, obviously, for tomorrow. We need to prepare for next game. But we'll work for the future. And working for the future, working obviously for the top games, top challenges, where the decision will be made. And when the decisions will come, we'll have to win as a team. After, we need to be strong also, obviously, on the moment that nowadays with the team that will play against, some teams that will play against, we need to use the moment of the counter-attack. So we need to understand, are there spaces for us to immediately counterattack, to harm the opponent? Yes, let's use them. We have weak players? Yes, we have. We have players that can get out of the pressure from the opponent? Yes, we have. We have even a goalkeeper that can help us a lot on that. So let's use the team for that. Let's use this moment of the game that can give us a lot. Because nowadays also every team is quite strong on defensive process, because teams nowadays they organize themselves to avoid, and with a lot of players at that moment, even defending the lines of 6, as we saw in the championship in last games, several. We need to be strong on this moment also. So we need to be strong on the 4 moments, and we need also to be, I believe, more strong on standards, on set pieces. Because set pieces are also a very important moment of the game. We need to highlight them also. We need to make more goals from set pieces. We need to work on this a lot. But work is time. And time you win by winning games. And that's what we want. Start winning the next one, and then next one, and then next one. And continue to develop this mentality. And to win, you don't win on the day of the game. You win on the first day of the week, on the first training of the week. And this is the spirit I'm going to bring to the club. There's no time for, there's time for good ambience. There's time for ludic moments. There's time to have pleasure on the training sessions, from the beginning to the end. But pleasure is made of things well. Because I believe that the true winners, they don't come from perfection. They come from consistency. Because not because today you train good, it's because every day you make the best in order to train good. And like that you become better. So this is the spirit we need to have. This is the spirit I believe on. And this is what I want for me and for myself and for my players. I really leave a message strong for them. We need to be ambitious. But ambitious is not something you say, it's something you show. It's an attitude. And no one destroys, no one kills an attitude. No one. It's impossible. That's how also I see the biggest team in the world to win. By developing a strong attitude collectively. That comes from the heart and the mind of each of the person. So we need to conquer the person, the people themselves. And after we'll conquer the players for sure. Because I believe they will believe in us. I believe we're going to put something going on that will give them pleasure. And players will follow the leader if they also feel pleasure in what they do. That's what I want from my players. That's what I want from all the staff around us. That the spirit that I heard from the first moment I started speaking with Sundowns, that I felt when I was on the other side. The spirit that you gave to me, I will never forget the press conference after the semi-final Champions League, when I entered the press conference. Because you have spirit, you have values, you applaud me in that moment. And I felt such privilege to be facing journalists that really had a human attitude. And you are human. That's what I want for my players. I want to take their human part. Because football, it will flow. It will flow. It will come from there. That's the job, that's the test.